Hello, tactical yakers. Bill here. We just got off the water. Actually, we got blown off the water. And I was talking to a couple guys, and they said, "Man, you should go ahead and do a video of your little test boat." And we've already got a couple videos out there. One of a Vibe 100, and one of an Emotion kayak that we did for customers. But this is a Sun Dolphin 10SS. And we use this as a test boat. We've had it for about 3 years, and it's gone through all sorts of mutations and changes. And we thought we'd go ahead and show it to y'all, especially you guys with Sun Dolphins, to show you what you can do to that little kayak. Main reason we got this kayak was, first, it was really inexpensive, and we knew we were going to be cutting holes in it, chopping on it, and doing really nasty things to it. And secondly, we figured at the end of its lifetime, and when we were done with it, we were just going to dispose of the kayak. We figured it would be useless to us. But what we do on it is we prototype out ideas, we do proof of concept work on it, and we try out products to let you guys know if the products are good, bad, or otherwise. Having said that, we pulled the boat in the shop a couple weeks ago, and after about 3 years old, and she was pretty rough looking. Just didn't, we didn't think there was much life left in her. We pulled it in the shop and went ahead and began stripping her down. Once we got the boat stripped down, we're like, man, she's not in that bad a shape. We should go ahead and save this boat. We can use it as a spare kayak around the shop, or keep running tests on it. We just need to neaten it up a little bit. So that's the course we took. And you're going to notice on here, a drill hole here, a little hole there. That's from us bolting things onto the boat, and then deciding we didn't want to continue using that item, or we changed things out. But we did a complete refit on the boat. Okay, so it's a Dolphin 10SS. It's a 10-foot sit-on-top kayak. It's actually 9'6". Okay, they say it's 30 inches wide. It's really 28 inches wide. And it comes with a not such a great reputation from a primary stability point of view, and that was another reason we bought it. We wanted a boat that really wasn't that stable to begin with, because we knew we were going to be trying out stabilizers on it, and I'm a big guy. I'm over 200 pounds, so it was a perfect boat for us to try stuff out on and either succeed or fail. So let me walk you through this and show you what we've got after we've refit it. And one other thing, when we test things out on this boat, we do it real-time testing. We actually take it out on fishing trips, and we're on the water for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours on a regular fishing trip. So we use it as a fishing boat to test out all the items we've got on it. So we'll start at the bow up here. You're going to notice a hole in the bow where the drain used to be. We're going to put a camera mount there. Okay, and these drains that are on top of the kayaks are of no use to us, because the boats are loaded and outfitted, and you don't want to unload them and flip them over to drain them. So we put a drain in the back end of the boat. I'm going to apologize right now for any wind noise. We got like 30-mile-an-hour winds blowing today. But we put a drain back in the back of the boat right down there. Okay, and also on our stabilizers, each stabilizer has a drain. Let me get back in here out of the wind. So in the front of the boat, we've cut a hole right there and just put a foam pad over the top of it. Inside that is a deer feeder battery that powers our Lowrance. Okay, I'll tell you right now, I'm real happy with Lowrance. I've put more Garmin's in the same price range on my customers' kayaks. The Garmin tends to be a little more user-friendly. Okay, but this is actually a great unit. So if you want a Lowrance, I'm not going to steer you away from it. You can see the anchor setup we've got. That's a typical YouTube sort of arrangement. You guys can see how to make that on YouTube. You're going to notice this paneling inside the boat and on here. This is just to help silence dropping things in the boat. Actually, what this is drawer liner for toolboxes. We tried the real thick foam at one time, and honestly it was just bulky, and this does the same job. So drawer liner for a toolbox is a good way to go. if you find the right adhesive. Right now, on this piece and on this piece over here, we've got two different kinds of adhesives that we're experimenting with to see which one holds best, frankly, in really hot weather, because they start to become tacky, and we want to experiment with the application on it too. So that's one test that we're still going on after we refitted the boat. One thing you'll notice on these Sun Dolphins, they had a cup holder and a not so dry storage area right here. We got rid of that, cut that out, made a lid, and we've got storage down there, and this is just Velcroed down. This actually works out great for us. Okay. Okay, we've also put Railblazer rod holders on this, on both sides, on top of the gunnels. We tried side mount Railblazers. They just didn't work out on this boat. These top mounts are perfect for the boat. Moving back here, we ended up having to put a cup holder in there. You can see it's got a little water in it because it rained on us, which means I need to drill a hole in that. We ended up putting a cup holder that's actually a plastic ashtray you can get from Walmart. Okay. We've got a couple of zigzag cleats on either side of the boat. Come back here to our seat, which is actually an small office seat. And we've gone through several different seating options on this boat. We've had a canoe seat in here, a folding seat, just all sorts of options. This has turned out to be the best. It's really, really comfortable. I'm good for 5 or 6 hours in this. It could use some back support, but I'm good for 5 or 6 hours in here before I start getting uncomfortable. And behind the seat flips up. You see it's got a PVC frame. Okay, behind it, this is a hatch, and in here is my main battery. Typically, we use a 34 amp hour battery. Right now we're running an experiment with an 18 amp hour battery. We ran it today, and I was really happy with it. And the whole idea of an 18 amp hour battery was just to make the kayak a little lighter to haul up and down hills. Okay, we've mounted some flush rod holders on the sides here and here. We use those for trolling, and for if I catch a fish, I can set the rod in there to unhook the fish. Okay, you guys see we've got our stick steer system for our motor back here, and we'll get into that later on. We sell all of that. This is actually the prototype that we originally came up with for the stick steer. We've since redesigned it. It's a little heavier duty. We've never had a failure on this, but we went ahead and redesigned certain portions of it to be a little heavier duty and just look a little better. But that's actually the original prototype for our stick steer. Okay. If you go over here, we've got a switch plate up here. I've got my throttle control, and I got 4 switches up here. One of these is for a bilge pump underneath the seat right here. And notice that black plate down there. There's a bilge pump, and I also have access to my transducer for the fish finder. The other switches are for lights. I've got lights on the side of it. I don't think you can see them right now. Might be able to. I've got a stern light that we can put on, and we've got a light under the seat that we're getting ready to wire in. And we're going to go ahead and put a green light somewhere on the hull on this so we can night fish. We do a lot of night fishing. Okay. One other thing on the seat's got a PVC frame supporting it. And what I've done, I've drilled all the way through the hull this way, and this goes all the way out. That T right there is for putting my shallow water anchor in. So, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remodify this and do the same thing out this side over here. Okay, that's actually worked out great, and it gives a pivot point for moving the seat. As you can see, we've got a blocker plate right here. We used to have some of these switches down on here. It just really wasn't a convenient area. It's so tight in the cockpit on these things. You had to reach kind of under your leg to get to the switches, so we moved away from that. That top mount for the switch plates on this kayak is the way to go. One other thing you'll notice missing is the pedals in the boat. They basically just took up room. We didn't need them. And one thing you'll notice on small kayaks is room is at a premium. So the more you can do, if you're DIYing a kayak, to clean up your cockpit area and make it uncluttered, the better off you are. Okay, so we've just removed those. Moving on back, you see we got a set of our Gen 4 stabilizers on here. We no longer make or sell these. We've moved on to the Gen 5s, but we're still experimenting with these. We're experimenting with an external mounting point on these right now, and so far there's really no advantage to the external versus the internal mounting on these. One's as strong as the other. The external is a little easier to do, but really no advantage on that. You can see we use 1 1/4 inch PVC tubing for our framing, both front and rear. Okay, and these are removable. We can pull these pins, this pin here, this pin over there. You can pull those. These can slide off, and we can slide this unit in the back end of a pickup truck along with another kayak. So that's a nice addition. We've gone ahead and just made our pole holders part of that framing. You can see that. And these 10SS's, there's no room in the back of these 10SS's to put a file box. So we just have a cooler back here that fits perfect, and we velcroed a small tackle box to the top of that. Okay, you're also going to notice these solar panels back here. We're experimenting with those right now. Actually, solar panels are a way to go if you guys want to just extend your day fishing out. Don't go with these. These are 3 watt and they're glass panels, and the first day we had these out, I snapped that one. Okay, they do however make a flexible panel that's about the size of that cooler top that we're going to try. It's 5 watts. We're going to put it on top of the cooler, and that's going to be a perfect location. These we just put on here. They were a convenient location at the time. I wouldn't do that for a customer. But yeah, definitely the 5 watt on top of the cooler is going to be the way to go. And we've been able to extend our fishing days to all day, where I would normally run the battery all the way down. Since I put the solar panels on there, I haven't had that issue. We do have a 30-pound thrust Minn Kota back here with our stick steer system. Nice thing about it is you can still tilt the motor. Very smooth operation. We use all HDPE. Everything is HDPE. There's no wood in any of the work we do on these boats. So this is our test rig, and we've put on and taken off 1,000 things in this boat. So as you can imagine, when we got it back to the shop, when we thought it was its final day, it was pretty rough looking, but we straightened it up. And one other thing you guys might notice, and I'm going to apologize again for the wind noise right now, stepping outside, you'll notice these white and black markings all over the boat. We're experimenting with a vinyl applique, and so far so good. Water doesn't seem to bother them, they don't peel, and you can take them off and they don't leave a residue behind. So that's a win. Kind of limited in the colors we can get those in right now, so we're efforting that right now to see if we can get some camouflage colors, maybe an olive drab and a brown. So much for that. And there's our stakeout pole right there. So if you guys are interested in this, or you got a 10SS, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Save this video for yourself. Save to watch later, save this video. Or even if you guys are DIY kayak builders, go ahead and save this video so you can go back to refer to it, just to kind of look at ideas that we've got. For doing small kayaks. Okay, and hit your notification button. We've got more videos coming out. We have another emotion build we're doing right now. It's going to probably be a 4-part video. We're doing it from beginning to end, just walking you through from the ground up modifying a kayak. And typically our customers are lower end kayaks, up to about $700, $800. Beyond that, with the exception of putting the motor and stick steer on a boat, those higher end boats typically have pretty much everything you want, although we have done some add stabilizers to them and the motor, sonar unit, things like that. Okay, if you guys are DIY and you're interested in some modifications and you don't want to like second guess yourself and kind of muddle through it, take a look at our videos, especially the one coming up with the emotion, and we can walk you through things to save you a lot of trouble. And I don't mind putting this out for y'all because we have plenty of customers, and for you guys across the country that do this stuff, this is just going to help you out and help out our sport. Okay? And one thing about these stabilizers, you can pick the kayak up from these. One thing we noticed right away, if we ask people to help us pick the kayak up, first thing they grab are those stabilizers. So we had to modify that whole setup. Wow, that wind's blowing today. We had to modify that setup so that those would actually support the weight of the kayak out of the water, which isn't typical. Okay, I think that's about all we've done to the boat, all that's left that we've done to the boat. One thing you guys will notice, you're like, what's up with the walking stick? Well, we do a little fishing at night, and if you're from the south at all, I'm from Georgia, I'm living in Texas now, but if you're from the south at all, you know, nighttime fishing in a kayak, you have little visitors come to the boat like water snakes and water moccasins, and that just kind of helps us prod them away from the boat. Just kind of a feel-good tool. You understand what I'm talking about? You guys up north may not need something like that, but we just keep it in the back. And also the shorelines around here are pretty muddy. They help you get in and out of the kayak. I think that's about it, guys. Take a quick walk around, get some wind noise going for you. That's our little test rig, and we're going to keep it around for a few more years, and I'll continue to fish out of it also, or let my friends use it. And with that 30-pound thrust motor and my big butt in there, we get about 4.5, maybe 5 miles an hour out of it at full thrust. Very seldom do we use full thrust. Typically I'm on the first or second setting. And one thing I'll tell you one experiment we did run, guys, you might be interested in, stabilizers. Last week we went out to a river. Current was pretty heavy. We've had a lot of rain, and these stabilizers were actually a foot longer. And typically we cut our stabilizers off right at the stern of the boat, but they were about a foot longer. Well, we got in that current going upstream, and man, those stabilizers had so much authority, we almost couldn't turn the boat. I had to put the stick full over to get the boat to turn. Okay, so so much for that experiment. Now we know not to do that, so we cut a foot off of them. Now it's fine. These things, if you have a boat that doesn't track well, this particular boat is notorious for that. Those stabilizers will help you. Like I said, we've gone away from these Gen 4s. We've actually gone to, let's walk over here real quick. We've gone to these Gen 5s that we're putting on this boat. And we're going to have a video of this boat out here shortly. These are our Gen 5s. HDPE all the way through and through. Internal mounts. Relatively inexpensive. They cost about half as much as any other stabilizer that's on the market. They're bigger. Typically you get about 100, depending on the length, 100, 120 pounds of extra capacity on the boat. You can just about take any kayak and make it a stand-up kayak with them, okay? And we typically mount our stabilizers out at 48 inches. That seems to be the sweet spot where they don't interfere with your paddle stroke if you want to paddle around. So you can put them out farther, but if you're into skinny water, around trees, things like that, you know, they get in the way. So 48 inches seems to be the sweet spot. And you can actually move them inboard more if you want. So I think that's it, guys. That's our little test rig. We use this to develop everything we bring to y'all. So if y'all want to get a hold of me, email me, Tactical Yakin. That's tactical spelled just like it is. Yakin, Y-A-K-N, all one word, Tactical Yakin at gmail.com. Email me. We can give you information on that setup for the motor. We can give you information on our stabilizers, which are now those stabilizers. And anything else we do, or if you just got ideas you want help with, if you want us to prototype something for you, we can do that. If you want to bounce ideas off of it, feel free to do that. We can get you through some trouble spots. So go ahead and contact us. And like I said, go ahead and subscribe. Hit your notification buttons for the other ones we've got coming up. Take a look at the 2 videos we've got out there right now. One's for a Vibe Yellowfin 100 mods, and one is for an Emotion we just got done doing. Pretty similar to the boat we've got right now in here. Take a look at those. And if you guys got a 10SS or you're doing mods, go ahead and save this video so you can refer back to it. Okay? Alright guys, y'all have a great one. Hopefully you'll have light winds and calm water. Light winds is the last thing we've got right now. Y'all have a great one. See you later. Bye.